When I was walking in rebellion from Christ, my mom would continue to send me text messages and verses and saying she was praying for me. My heart kept hardening further. I would ignore the text messages and shut off my phone and just keep doing whatever I wanted. I started college off strong by thinking I could be a believer. It was a slippery slope, and I just didn't want to go back to God. I didn't want to listen to my parents. My parents both would try to talk to me during the weekends I would come home, and I just didn't really want to listen. In the back of my mind, I knew what I was doing wasn't fulfilling, but I still was surrounded by people that were saying that it was okay, and there was always someone that was doing something worse than me, so I didn't feel that bad. Being loved without condition was the biggest thing that helped me, and you need to pray. Something that I would love to replicate that my mom really modeled in my childhood was just praying over us in the evening, in the middle of the night. Whenever it was, she would always stop to pray. One night that I look back and see how powerful prayer is this night that I was with friends out of town. I didn't know my surroundings. I had terrible friends that didn't really care about me. Somehow I got separated from my friends. I was walking alone, not knowing where to go, really scared. I ended up sitting on a curb in front of a house, and a car pulls up. I just sit there, and they get out, and they pick me up. Luckily, they're good people. They take me to my friend's apartment. I'm safe. At the same time, my mom had woken up from her sleep. She felt prompted to pray for me, and she prayed. The next day, she texted me what happened, and that's when I knew that God actually cared for me. He loved me, and He heard her prayer, and that's why I was safe. That's when everything changed, when I started listening to my mom more of how she was praying for me, how she would wake up in the middle of many nights and pray for me. I wouldn't tell her how that impacted me for years. God hears, and moms get the privilege of partnering with God for our children. It's something that I want to do for Ollie, my son, that I want to hear the promptings from God to pray for him, and I pray that urgency never leaves, that I am near Jesus to hear His promptings, as I know my mom was my whole childhood, and even now, she still will wake up and pray, and it's something I so admire in her. I think one of the tough things as a mom is to realize that I can't soften my son's heart. It's always going to have to be Jesus. I pray for it all the time. Being a mom makes me feel like I have the best job in the world, yet hardest job in the world. It's such a weight, yet I know that Jesus holds that weight for me, that if I'm near Him, He has all the details. I pray that I'm a person He calls when He's older, as I often call my mom.